Hey everyone, how's it going? Well, we just started shooting yesterday. Had a few problems on the tarp. Broken wire, corroded connection. It's filling up with wheat right now. And I seeded till about 12:30 last night. And just till my tank was empty. Did 92 acres on a tank. Could do more if I use my middle tank, but I'm not going to. Hey everyone, how's it going? Well, back again here. I didn't really film anything from when I was filling up when I started here, but I'm just about done. Probably another 5 passes. I'll be finished. I worked here till about 1 in the morning last night, and I ran out of fertilizer, so I said I'll finish her up in the morning. So yeah, it is extremely dry. And it's funny that some spots there's still moisture down there, but it's getting deeper and deeper all the time. So I just saw a bunch of dust tornadoes, dust devils they call them. And that's never good, but I've been seeing those for the last 4 years now. And we've been in a 4-year drought so far, so I don't know, down south of us here in southern Alberta, well, not central Alberta I should say, they're going to get some, looks like they're going to get some good rain. And we're getting nothing. 1 millimeter. That's what we're supposed to get. You can't see a little bit of moisture there in the stubble. This part right here on this pass, I buggered up with the sprayer. You can actually see the high stubble there. They didn't combine it because it was kind of all green and stuff. But what happened was, I think when I was spraying pre-seed burn-off there last year, I got my lines mixed up because I was just using the light bar. I don't have the auto steer in the sprayer tractor. I just use the light bar, and I think I got my swaths mixed up. I went twice on the one I wasn't supposed to, so missed that one. But it's funny because with all that trash that was in there and everything, that's where the most moisture is. So I know all my stubble fields here have the most moisture. That's how it always is. The ones I tilled last fall are really dry. Yeah, I can see some quackgrass growing here too. But I put it a little extra strong this spring here. We've got kind of a lot of quackgrass growing, so I mixed the Roundup a little stronger. Try and get it under control. So yeah, this is for those of you who don't know, this is our south farm, which is a whole section. It's 640 acres. But you've got some trees, you've got that's a lease, a well lease. You get paid for that from the oil company. And there's another one over there with a well on it. And then you got this dugouts here, because there used to be cows here. We used to pasture cows here. Used to cut it off in each quarter, I think. Hold on, I gotta turn around. So yeah, they dug some dugouts here for the cows to drink, and I think they just sectioned it off and every cross fenced it this way and that way to get the 4 quarters and rotation graze and everything. When we got this field, it was a mess, complete mess. There was so much Canada thistle in here. That was the main thing. It was like a really nice crop of canola. That's what it looked like when it was thistle. When it was like this high out of the ground and it leafed out about the size of your hand. So we were supposed to rent it at first from the owner, and we told him like, oh man, that's the whole place is thistle. It needs to be like 1.5 gallons, 1.5 liters per acre around them, just to get rid of it. Like it's. He said, well, okay. He said, yeah, the guy didn't live here. He flew here on his plane. He actually had a small plane. And he said, oh my God, yeah. He said, it's crazy. So he bought all the spray and we did all that. We actually didn't charge him very much for it. And he said, we'll be good for next year. And he ended up wanting to sell it after the next year. So he actually had a big auction sale, sold all his stuff. So we ended up buying it. But yeah, we cleaned it up really good. And I think we bought this in 2010. And it was like right after that, land prices skyrocketed. I wish we would have bought like at least 4 more. We got offered 4 more quarters here too, and we said no. Pretty stupid. But anyways, I don't mind the dugouts. I like to have water in that, but I wish they would have. I know why they dug them where they did, so the cows, they could have probably fences or something, but like there's a big low spot right here. That's a big slough in there, a lot of water, because whatever water spills over that dugout drains into here. I don't know why they just didn't dig it in here, get it out of the way, because that's useless land anyway. If I were to doze all that down, it'd be wet all the time anyway, so you can't do nothing with it. That's usually why bushes get left fields, because they're always too wet, and then they just grow in. So I really I could fill in that dugout and re-dig one here. I'm not really gonna ever have cows here. If I did have cows here, then I'd probably be able to bring them all here. Well, not quite. There'd be a lot of pasture here though. I like the dugout. I use that dugout for spraying, so I like having the dugout. But there's another dugout up that way on the other half. I don't like where that one is. That one's useless, really, for me. Oh, and then see that row of trees? That's just it's a circle. It's weird. It comes way up. It's almost like a meteor hit it and made the soil go up in a round circle. Like I could clear that down, but it's really hard for the air seeder to go in and like that, and it's wet there. I'd have to grab some dirt from the dugouts, fill the top of it level, or maybe push the topsoil away and then kind of grade it down into just a nice, I don't know. Yeah, that there's another slough, and it's always wet. So like the neighbor cleaned it right there, and like that the trees used to go into that side there, but I think he seeded it last year, and this year it's kind of wet because we had snow this year, so he had to leave a spot there. So that's just how it is. That's why the trees are left there for a reason sometimes. And then sometimes they're just, with the cows here, you gotta have some trees so they can hide from the heat of the day and rains and stuff. They gotta have some place to hide, so you can't just be in the wide open either. But yeah, no, I don't have too much to do here. I gotta turn around again. So yeah, this whole field is one whole square section. It's a mile by a mile. Obviously I can't go the whole mile because the dugout's in the way, then that tree line there is in the way, but from there on that way I can do the whole mile. You can go the whole mile this way too, and then you gotta go around shit. But we finally took out the fence that separated the two half sections, so now that fence was not even straight, so it was always a pain in the ass with your auto steer and everything, and trying to get your lines right, overlapping. Hated overlapping, especially with canola. I don't have sectional control on here. Well, you kind of do, but you got to go on the drill and close it off manually. Hell with that. But yeah, hopefully we get some rain. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Well, maybe I'll do a live stream. I said I was gonna do a live stream yesterday. I didn't do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna go to right there, and I'll be done. So another 3 passes, and then I gotta do 3 passes on that side. So this is actually this end of the field in this low area here where it comes down from the, right from the dugout this way. It's about 80 acres. Probably the best chunk of field here. When you get on top of that hill, it's not as good anymore, but then when you get past that bush and go that way, and everything this way is pretty good too. There's some parts of the field are better than others. So. This is always the better part. This is where we had the oats here a couple years ago, and I got some new Camden oats I'm seeding this year. So I'm gonna try that stuff out. Actually, Camden is getting a little bit older now. There's another oats that I want to. I'll probably see Camden for a couple years, and then I want to try. I think it's Arborg, and there's another one too. They didn't have any, so we were too late. But I like to try growing a little more oats, especially here. This is good oats land. No wild oats here, so we got a lot of wild oats at the North Farm, so it's always hard to grow oats. This is we usually seed a CPS wheat here. We're trying well, I seeded this wheat last year. It's called Tracker, and it's not a bearded wheat. So usually the CPS that we seed is bearded. This stuff isn't. So it's a really early wheat, and it seems to yield pretty well. If we get some rain, normal rain, you could actually. Can't actually tell what the crop is going to do because we haven't had a decent growing season yet in 4 years. But yeah, so just wanted to add that in there. Oh yeah, and that's another thing I was going to say. It's always these, see right there. Those damn silage bags that the guy used here to feed his cows, and there was one big pile right there, and it's like he left it in there, but the bag is underneath the bottom of it, and I keep ripping it out to this day still. We thought we had it all out, and I keep finding more and more. Basically I'd have to come here with the excavator and dig that all out just to get all those stupid. And I don't know where they are. There must have been another one way over there where he fed cows. And it just didn't really. Whoever had this before, the owner was renting it. Somebody that was pretty messy. Like they had feed barley seeded, and I think they just let the cows graze on it. But they didn't spray it or anything. That's why the weeds took over and the thistle and everything. And even the neighbors were like, "Oh, thank God you got it," because like they said, we were always getting thistle blowing in from the east wind, and thistle blowing into the next place, and that's actually, I got, hold on here. I got in trouble one year from the county because I had like 3 or 4 plants of thistle by the highway. So I don't know how they didn't get reprimanded. I'm in a different county than the North Farm, so yeah, I'm in a different county than the North Farm, so they're a little bit more. Look at that, there's a dust devil right there swirling. That's the third one I saw this morning. Well, if the winds would quit. I'm just so windy. And there's a lot of fires burning again. My phone alert system is always going off. Wildfire alert and evacuation order, but no fires to the west of us yet. Well, there was one in Grand Prairie. The fire started right by Costco in the wooded area that way south of it, I guess. And I was fixing a hydraulic hose on the 2594. One of the steel lines buggered up, so I got a new rubber hose made. And I was under the tractor and I smelled smoke. So I crawled out and I was like a dog. I was just and I just smelled it for a bit and I couldn't see anything. But I think it was like a half an hour later, I heard a fire started in Grand Prairie, which is an hour away yet. That was strange, but yeah, I'm surprised there's not more fires around here right now so far. But if it doesn't rain, it might get pretty smoky again. It's like 4 or 5 years straight smoke in the spring, and that's not good for growing because it's like cloudy days all the time. So I was even told the weeds won't die right because they're not growing properly. And people were in crop spraying. They said it wasn't working too good. So I guess that sucks. I remember that one year our hay wouldn't dry. It was so hot, but there wasn't very much wind and the smoke, and it just stayed green. But it just wouldn't dry. So yeah. Well, I'll catch you on the flip side here when I'm almost done. Well, we're on the road again. Finished all up. Folded up, locked all in place, and down the road. Our 2-hour journey back home. Sometimes I hate this thing with big triples. It's pretty wide. Just as wide as the drill though, folded up. That's a nice field. I always like this one. This one is like 4, 5, 6 quarters all in one. About 900, almost 1,000 acres here. 900 some acres. These are the big guys here. It's one of their fields. I think they run like 30,000 acres. They've got like 5 drills, I think. I think they got one that's 100-footer. But I think they seeded green peas here this year on canola stubble. They rolled everything. We don't really roll wheat. I heard they're seeding a lot of peas this year, so. I go down another 2 kilometers or so, and then I turn back on the gravel, and I'll be on gravel for a while. So now down the gravel here. Been down the gravel for, I don't know, 15 minutes now. Had to pass 2 people. Hate those culvert dips. A lot of beaver dams around on this side here. That's why there's really no land here. It's all lowland and crappy land. It's got it dammed up on this side. Somebody's corner starts here. I sure noticed a lot of people doing some land clearing around here lately. A lot more open land in the last year. This winter, I never really drive down here in the winter time, so I don't know, but I see what's happening in the summertime. Cute little house there. But I noticed on this side here, this guy's farm, he had, I think there was tree lines that were old brush piles at one point, so they kind of cleared something down. In the back there wasn't as open, and they worked up the grassland. A little bit of clearing in the back there. A little bit. There's a creek that runs through here. The beavers cleaned out this creek here. Opened her up a little bit. So yeah, I did notice that. I'll show you when I get by. There's some that are wide open. I was like, holy smokes! Come around the corner, there's no trees left. Yeah, it was like right here in this corner, right at this intersection here. It's like, oh wow, this whole stretch is gone there. It's a wetland, so I don't really know why they really wanted to clear it. I don't know, but whatever. Maybe for pasture. I'm thinking it's for pasture. Well, just stopped here. I'm just back on the highway again. I like this big, wide gravel road. Goes to the lake. But now I'll be on highway all the way, and it kind of sucks. I like gravel road because surprisingly the gravel roads are smoother than some of our highways. The one highway we have going home is pretty old, and it's got frost heaves from the cracks because they don't seal the cracks anymore. So just took a break to check all the tires and everything, make sure everything's good. I got all these with the correct pressure here this spring, so that's a new tire. That one was low. That one could probably use a new tire on it. These guys I hate because sometimes they want to, these caster wheels, they want to just freaking go crazy. But there's a little bit of weight in here, so, but it's mainly on the back. There's some wheat in there a little bit. But yeah, that's one thing I don't like about these. They should have like a lock on them, so transporting it they can't really, or some sort of shock absorber on there. But yeah, so everything looks all right here. And continue on our way. Well, I'm home. I didn't film anymore. This damn highway was pretty busy. It's kind of a bad day to be on there with this it's not a long weekend, but busy weekend, I guess. A lot of people going to the lake now, I see. Campers and some boats, but just in general that time of the day too. So I'm gonna unfold this drill right now, and then I gotta grease all the press wheel bearings and everything, so let's unfold it. Listen up the transport wheels. There she is. 61 feet. There, now that that's all on the ground, I can grease all these press wheel bearings. We've done over 600 acres, so I gotta grease them. Alright. Well, this is the next field I gotta do. But, yeah. Maybe I'll do a live stream on this field that I'm going. I'm gonna go harrow right now. I gotta go harrow from the other field there, because it is rough. Alright then, we'll talk to you all later. Leave your comments down below. See you in the next one.